I'm Jennica.
I'm Annica.
Welcome to
Spill More Girls.
Hello,
Hello.
fam. Welcome back to another episode. We're so excited to be here.
So excited. A lot has happened.
I know. You want to give it a little update on your weeks?
Yeah. I mean, last time we chit-chatted, I did not have a tattoo, and now I have two. So that's an accomplishment to me personally. For 18 years, probably,
I know.
wanted a
and
tattoo.
I thought that you would go the day that you literally turned 18.
Me too.
But your explanation of why you didn't is very, very valid. Annica is very, very scared of needles.
And it's a developed fear.
It's not like I'm scared of needles. Like, from the time that y'all, when we were going to get her kindergarten shots, okay? Keep in mind, I am 18 years old. No, maybe I'm 19.
Nonetheless.
I'm either 18 or 19, okay? We're at the doctor's office, ready to get her shots. And you guys, she gets her first one. And I'm calming her down. I'm thinking that it's all fine. Because this is the first round of shots that she's getting that's like...
I'm conscious enough to know what's going on.
And have a reaction before it happens. Like, we can't trick you into it happening anymore. And y'all, I put her down to do something. And I looked up. She was out the door. She was down the hallway. She was going through the waiting room. And by the time I got her to her, she was almost in the parking lot. Like, another mom had to help me. She said, I'm done with this. I'm done. So she really has always had like a very, it's a fear.
Thinking about it makes me cry. If I have a shot in the next week, I will start crying.
Yeah.
The fact, just thinking about it happening makes me burst. And so, if no one would have told me that getting a tattoo was 100 needles going into you, I would have never known.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like... I couldn't get that across to her that it doesn't feel like needles.
Because why would it not feel like needles?
Because
it's just that in my opinion.
I think that I didn't realize that it was needles until after. I was like, wait, what?
I literally would have been fine if I would have gone the day I turned 18 had I not known that fact. But that fact alone was keeping me 6 months delayed from getting it. But I finally did it. I got one on my finger, one on my hand, matching with you on one on your hand. And it was great. I'm obsessed with them. I'm so glad I did it. It was one moment of pain for a lifetime of love looking at my hands now.
Yeah, she kept contemplating the placement simply because of pain, and I was like, oh no, we're not going to do that. It's literally going to be so very quick. It's going to be over. You're going to be fine. I feel like we didn't do a super good job on the vlogs on J&A channel. You did on yours. But explaining your tattoos. So
I feel like I literally only talk about it.
I know, but not for the podcast.
That is true. Okay, so I got 2 tattoos. One on my right hand, an and symbol matching with my mama. She also got an and symbol on her hand, but she got it on her right, so we can be holding hands.
We'll post a picture on the Instagram.
Yeah, it's super cute. So I got a matching one for J&A. It's just such a fundamental part of our lives. And I got one on my finger for one of my best friends who passed away. So I had a best friend. His name was Parker. We were friends for 8 years.
Since we moved here. He was one of your first friends here.
Since we moved here. And the first year we went to school together, we had literally every single class together.
Yeah.
We walked from class to class to class to class to class together. The only break we had was lunch because he was too cool for me. And then we were right back together.
Yeah.
So I quickly became friends with him, and then because we had so many classes together, we depended on each other so much for homework, so we were just constantly FaceTiming, and I just had middle school teen girl hormones. So I was like, oh, I enjoy spending time with this boy, I have to like him. I can't, being just friends that close with someone wasn't normal yet for us. You either had a crush on someone or you weren't friends. So I was like, I have the biggest crush on this man. He is perfect. So because we were FaceTiming so much, in his little notes section of his contact on my phone, I put LOML for love of my life. Literally, I've never used that anytime ever before. Ever.
That's such a little middle school thing, too.
I've never used LOML before in my life, and ever since that. It was the only time I ever did. So, we were FaceTiming, and it was just my fun little thing that I knew was there. But
you don't ever go to the note section of your contact. I didn't even know there was a note section of a contact.
He's the only one.
Yeah.
Only one. Fast forward a couple years. It was literally the day we were vlogging with him one time.
Was it?
Yes, it was the day we went to Target with him one time. I think it was during a Vlogmas, to be honest.
Maybe.
And he thought it was so cool that I was a YouTuber. He thought it was the freaking coolest. So we were vlogging one day. He had to go to Target to pick out his sister's Secret Santa gift. And he went to call himself because he left his phone in Target. He went to call himself and he saw it. And I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. And he was like, you're obsessed with me. You are in love with me. And I was like...
His reaction is exactly what you would have done if you would have seen.
Like, you're literally obsessed with me? That's so cool. You love me. And he found it, and he laughed about it so hard. And then he put it in his contact, my contact in his phone. And so it was like our little thing that we had. And then he... Fast forwarded a couple months later, he was helping me like do packages for Poshmark or something one day, and he went in my room, and I randomly had this like men's Harley Davidson ring, and he took it, and I didn't know he took it because why would I ever go in there and like look for it? It didn't fit me. It was a man's ring. So the next day at school, I see him in the hallway, and I said, "Is that my ring from my closet? Did you take that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I didn't think you'd need it, so I took it."
He was like, "It suits me better, doesn't
it?"
And she was like, "Yeah, but like, what?"
Ask next time. You could have had it, but just like ask. So he wore that ring on his pointer finger on his left hand, literally all the time. When his like memorial came around and we had like a video that was showed of him, that ring was in literally every single clip of him.
Yeah.
So
the ring also like spun, so it was kind of, but it was like a very, very cool vintage ring.
Very cool ring.
So you couldn't tell that it was almost like a fidget type
so
ring.
That's why he liked it.
Yeah.
So when it came around and I kept seeing the ring on the video, and I was like, oh my god, that's what I'm gonna do. I want to get a tattoo for him. I want to get on my finger, but I don't know what I want it to be yet. Then Taylor Swift comes out with the track list,
yes,
for Tortured Poets, to where we can't listen to them on Spotify, but we can see the list of them. And I see a song that's titled LOML.
She comes in my room and she says, "Mom, this is gonna go one of two ways. It's gonna be a great party song that I'm gonna be able to like
listen to and
be happy with, and just, or it's gonna be the worst thing that's ever happened to me."
And it was option 2. So the song LOML comes out, and I've listened to it once. I listened to it the night it came out. I listened to the lyrics, and I said, oh, yikes, bikes. That's a little harsh. So I never listened to it ever again.
I never listened.
And in the song, it does transition from "You're the love of my life" to "You're the loss of my life." And, like, that just hit for me. So I immediately knew, like, that's what I wanted to get on my finger, on the ring, the finger he wore the ring for him. And it was in my notes section. Like, everything
aligned. But then it's also, like, a beautiful Taylor Swift tattoo. Like, it has so many meanings.
It's, like, so many invisible strings.
Yeah.
Like, so many invisible strings. So that's what my one on my finger means. I am going to have to come up with, like, some quick story to tell during prom season. Because, like, as much as I'm going to be zipping girls up, so many people are going to see my finger. And, like, I love telling the story, and I've told it so many times already at Glamour, but when there's 14 fitting rooms full, I simply will not have time to explain everything. So I don't know what I'm going to say about that, but we'll see.
Because you already have been asked like 100 times.
So many times. And I've told the whole story every single time.
And everybody, I mean, it's just everybody loves it.
Everyone's like, oh my god, that's so amazing.
But they are so awesome. I did also, because with tattoos, when they're little like this, a lot of times it's just the base price of the artist, of their work, of their time, of their tools. And so once they've got kind of those tools out, they don't mind to
just pop a couple more
I don't think that yours was that much more than mine.
No.
So I really thought that I was going to be getting like 2, maybe 3. And then we got in there and I just was like, I just one for me, please.
Just one. And I was like, okay.
I guess, I'm glad though, because you did end up having a little moment.
Yeah,
it was
I
fun,
feel like
though.
we talked about it so much, but we really haven't. I did have a little moment, and it wasn't even near my finger tattoo, because I got it first because everyone said it was going to be the worst. Everyone says finger tattoos literally the worst place, and that's why I almost changed my spot, but I was like, the spot is kind of the whole reason I'm getting this tattoo. So I was so nervous about that one. I just wanted to get it done first. Literally fine. Literally so fine. I switch sides to my hand because I got them on my left and on my right. So I switched sides so that she can do my hand. I literally am like, hey, can we take a break? Because I can't see anything.
My mom alarm bells went off and I was like, hey, yeah, no, something's happening here.
I've never felt like that in my entire life before.
I really am shocked that you didn't pass out because you had all the symptoms and then
the literally only thing that I didn't do is go unconscious.
Yeah.
Like every pore on my body had a sweat bead on it. I was like dripping in sweat. I had to get cold towels.
Dilation station.
I mean, I couldn't see anything. I found one piece of art on the wall, and I just like kept blinking until it was clear again.
Yeah.
Like I hated my vision being blurry, and I was freaking out because like I just don't like not being.
She was kind of like not making sense to me. Like she kept being like, I don't want to feel like this forever, and I was like, okay, well, You're not.
Okay, well, I just don't like being not sound of mind.
But that's what when you are in a genuine panic, you do say things like I knew like that was all it took for me to be like, hey, I need to take you serious real quick. We need to make sure that we And she immediately we went to Tats by Rain, and she immediately was like grabbing water, grabbing peppermint, and grabbed a cold rag. Yeah,
she was
trying to get it off,
and I dropped the first peppermint. But yeah, that was my little moment, and I did not pass out though. And by the time that I was like, "Hey, can we have a break?" we were done. If we had to go back into tattooing after that,
woo,
I definitely would have passed out. Yeah. But thankfully, I was done. I think it was just because I had pain on my left and right hand at the same time.
So, do you want more?
Right now, no. Just because like these two have such significant meanings, and I already had such a hard time picking out.
And now you can live with them for a minute.
Yeah, I had such a hard time picking out placements. I only didn't have trouble with my finger tattoo because of the meaning it had, but for the and tattoo, I had such a hard time with the placement just because nothing really felt right.
Yeah.
And so I just, until I know for sure, like I did with my finger one, like I don't want to, I want to know 100%. And literally, please, no one tell me I'm going to regret these tattoos because I'm simply not.
Well, it did give me the itch to like go ahead and get a million more. Like I don't know why I didn't need more. And now that we definitely have a girl that we like I want to get something for Luna, Weasley, Myrtle. I just think that they're like the perfect little trio. I feel like they are like my little Harry, Ron, Hermione. It's so fun. I really want a Harry Potter tattoo, and I almost got, there's 3 little stars that are on the corner of each book page. And I almost got that, but then at the last minute, I was like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know why you didn't. It literally shocked me to the core.
I know. I want to get a little camera somewhere on me. I just think it's so fun and cute. So I have several little ones that I want to do, that I need to just go and do. And it did give me that itch, because she, forever ago when I got my last one, she was like, you can't get any more tattoos until I want to tattoo.
No, like I was dead set on it until I realized that it was needles. Yeah. And then I was like, I don't know.
So now I could truly go back tomorrow. We did do our homework.
I was gonna say, do we want to do homework at the end or homework?
Let's do our homework. We watched Wonka. Now listen, we got a C on our homework because we could not find where to watch the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory anywhere.
With Johnny Depp.
To me, and that's just not the.
No, it's so good.
No, Gene is Wonka.
So now we've both only seen 1 out of 3. She's seen the OG, I've seen the Johnny Depp, and now we've both seen Wonka. Yeah. So we're like...
So we still need to watch both of those to show each other their respects. But I think that we've pretty much ultimately decided that we're...
I didn't realize it was a musical.
We did not realize it was a musical. I mean, we're not musical girls per se, but with Timothy Chalamet, I wasn't disappointed at all.
I think I don't know if I've ever seen him sing in a movie before.
Okay, your favorite movie on Earth, arguably, Descendants, is a musical.
But no, Timothy Chalamet. I'm saying with Timothy Chalamet.
Oh. You've never seen a musical with him?
I don't think so. Like, I didn't know he was, like, that kind of... I didn't know he sung in
exudes theater kid energy to me.
Yeah, but, like,
And not in a bad way. Honestly, I could go on a tangent about that, because I think that if I would have been given the opportunity to be a theater kid,
you would have taken it. For sure.
It would have changed my life.
But, like, the first time he started belting, I was just shook.
Oh, yeah. Like, you were like, whoa, I thought you were just cute.
Yeah, like, I didn't know that, like, you're telling me he walks around Kylie Jenner's house singing? Like,
Are they still together?
Who knows? I'm not a wrong person to ask.
I just let news come to me as it comes.
If they are speculate. Happy, if they're not, that means they weren't happy together, and they're happy they're separated.
Moving on.
But I did like it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
The premise was great.
Glad we watched it.
Yeah.
I do get emotional about a mother's story. Like, why did his mom have... Why was that her story?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I wish that, like, they would have showed... I feel like they skipped time periods a lot. Like, they didn't show a lot of making the factory. Yeah. Like, I feel that's my only thing. But I would watch it again.
Yeah, I did. I did really, really like it.
Perfect.
It was great. All right.
We
do have a phone. Where's my phone? So we have our list here. We have a fun episode theme today, and our theme is jobs. So we'll be going through different kind of categories, and each be saying something that we think. Some of these I have written down jobs just because I know that's the one for sure I want to talk about. Some of them I'm like, okay, whatever comes to mind first, we'll do. So
let me get my list too.
Okay. First and foremost. Let's start.
We have the same order, right?
No, well, I'm just going to skip around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scary job.
Okay, I got mine.
For my scary job, I put quite literally anything on a ship. Anything on a ship.
Oh, that's a good one.
Anything on a ship. Any type of ship, any kind of ship.
Anywhere on the ship.
Any way on a ship, anyhow on a ship. Anything on a freaking
And we know someone personally on a ship right now.
on a ship.
No. No. Every part about it, no.
I genuinely don't think that I'll ever be able to do a cruise.
No.
Like,
And I've accepted that.
I think
don't want
that
to.
even if Carnival Cruise came to us and said, hey, spill more girls,
It
you
would,
can do a podcast from the front dock deck.
I would do a Disney one.
You would do anything Disney, huh?
Not anything. Not anything.
No, I absolutely, I'd consider it for sure
For Disney. Every other one, I'm sorry, but no. Unless they can make it magical, and I can wake up to Minnie and Mickey waffles.
And I would have like an inflatable packed in my suitcase just for peace of mind.
I wouldn't sleep the entire time.
Yeah.
I feel like mine's pretty good too.
Okay,
I
what
was
is
really
yours?
proud of thinking of this.
Okay.
Window cleaning. Like,
See, I
like
think that
skyscraper.
That's fun.
We just talked about people climbing to the top of the Batman building. Imagine window
Yeah,
cleaning up there.
I mean,
Hanging.
not for me.
It's
For
scary.
somebody, but I guess that's the same thing with the ship. Somebody's like, I get to be on a boat all. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like being on a cable, washing the windows of a skyscraper.
Have you seen that guy on TikTok?
Yes.
He's from Nashville.
Yes.
And he does. Yeah. He like
no,
videos
thank
himself
you.
window cleaning.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank
And
you.
especially the buildings, like the building that I used to work in downtown, the LNC Tower, it has like concrete columns that come out, and so they have to like
Jump.
scale those to even.
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. And like the trust they have in suction.
One cable. The one cable is holding them up. I'm like, where's that cable hooked?
Yeah.
First of all,
And what do you do for fun? If that's your
What are
if
you
that's
listening
your-
to?
Oh, what are you
listening
listening to? It's a podcast for sure.
for sure. But like, what do you listen to when you're mid sky cleaning a window?
Literally mid sky.
Mid sky cleaning a
Mid-sky.
window. So that's mine. I thought it was really good.
Those are good ones. Good
Thanks.
ones. Okay, what do you think would be the scariest part
Also-
to be on the ship? Let's take it for
Every single
Yeah, I
part of
know.
it.
because then also you
Pirates?
genuinely can't you
Pirates.
can't ever relax.
Whales, sharks. Every part of it.
It's so scary.
Rocking?
It's honestly making my hands a little clammy thinking
like,
about
I
it.
can't. It would never be me.
Okay, next category we have. Ooh, this is quite the turn.
Okay.
What do you think of when you think of a peaceful job?
Okay, well, mine has kind of the same vibe to it.
Okay, go ahead.
But
Huh?
I just said
Wait, peaceful and scary.
putting them next to each other wasn't a good trick for my personal list, but okay. And it's just once again to me,
The over-explaining, we got it.
to me, I think being like a cleaner and like a house cleaner.
You don't do body leave anything.
But I could clean a house. If my job was to clean a house
Oh,
all day, all day long.
Especially because once you get candle vibes going
Or
and
like,
you're in the
once again, you're cleaning all day with headphones on in your zone.
yeah.
I'm sure it gets
And cleaning
over it.
cleaning gives you such instant gratification that if you were making surfaces clean all day long.
I think about that all the time because every single day I go in the gym, there's the cleaners in there for our apartment building. And I'm like, you have your routine, you know what you clean at what time after each other, and you just clean, sweep, go along,
That
and
is
make
so
everything
you
perfect.
answer.
I'm like,
That is
I could
so
do it.
you answer.
I could do it. That seems so peaceful to
Yeah,
me.
and honestly,
And no one bothers you.
Yeah,
No one bothers you. I could do it.
mine is very much me, as yours is very much you. But I have two also. My first one is any sort of like bookstore.
Yes.
Like, especially a bookstore that could be like connected to a coffee shop because then you got the smell, you got the vibes. But I feel like bookstores are even more quiet than coffee shops too. Like you don't have that like and the smell of the pages. Like also library kind of the same, but I feel like bookstore over library because then you get that little bit of like conversation a little bit more and like not. Librarian, I feel like, is a prestigious.
Yeah.
You know, you get to be a little bit more relaxed, but equally as peaceful to me, florist or like a nursery, like a florist, flower
Definitely.
shop.
Definitely.
You're surrounded by flowers all day long.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the playlist to the flower shop. Come on.
Superior.
Or if you're in the back putting bouquets together, guess what?
Headphones.
Then you got Headphone City.
We
love
anything you can do headphones with.
The smell. And then, again, it's another instant gratification. Look at that. You're like, I just made that. I am the best thing on earth.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
So, out of library or like a bookstore situation and florist, I genuinely don't know.
I think I would do florist.
Florist.
That's the lily bloom in me, though. You don't know who that is.
I don't, and I can't know her. Sorry.
It's it ends
Yeah.
with us. I watched that last night. It was...
And that's another one that I won't be able to watch.
No, you shouldn't. But it was great to watch for me personally.
Yeah.
I love
You did
the
love
book.
that. Do you recommend people read the book first, watch the movie second, or okay?
Absolutely.
And should they read the second one before they watch the movie, or these are Colleen Hoover books, by the way?
I didn't, and I definitely think I missed out on a few of the restaurant hooks, and there's a couple of things that make it intertwine, but nothing to where you have to read It Ends With Us before you watch it if you really want the full story.
Yeah.
Because even last night, I watched it with my friend Leah. She's watched the movie, but she has not read the book. And she was like, wait, why this? Why this? And I was like, if you read the book, you would know why. It just, they can't fit everything.
You know, it kind of has been a mom hack, just to circle back to it has been a mom hack for me to have a child that truly enjoys cleaning so much. I mean, I genuinely have one of the first videos on my phone is a video of you cleaning. And I would be at hair appointments and she'd be sweeping everybody's floor. When she just, yesterday she came home, she said, I'm going to relax a little bit, so I'm going to clean the living room and vacuum. And I was like, oh, okay, well, but that is genuinely how you relax, and it has been, I'm not a messy person, okay, I'm an organized but messy, I would say. How would you describe it? Since your wheels are turning.
Can I question that? What part of you is organized?
I know where stuff is, unless I forget.
Let's be for real here.
Yeah, I know where my stuff is and where it goes. My stuff has a home. Everything has a home.
Where's the Hobby Lobby gift card?
By the door. I put it by the door for you.
Did you?
It's literally in the key hold thing. It's in the key holder.
Something.
Yeah, exactly. Next.
Your keys.
My keys? Right here.
Yeah, but before that.
At our apartment lobby because they were turned in by somebody.
Yep. There we go.
No, see, that's the ADHD. That's not. No, not once, not twice, but 3 times. My headphones, and then when I'm walking Luna, sometimes if I don't put I guess I do put, I don't know if they're on my wrist, or sometimes my keys fall out and they're just so light I don't hear them, and then I'll get a call from our building that's
be like, hey, your
keys.
It's shameful.
I need most of the time I really do walk with one ear off, but with it being cold I do like to have them on. And then my headphones, we have both headphones that have what's called
noise cancel?
No, mine's called a audience something. If somebody starts talking to me, my headphones stop my music and speaker out.
So mad.
Well, it's for safety. And
yeah, but still, if I'm working out and someone tries to talk to me, I'm gonna choose to ignore them. But if my music goes down,
you're like, excuse me,
no.
the beat was about to drop.
Yeah.
But I'm obviously not gonna hear a tiny little key ring.
No, and there's not even actual keys. It's pieces of plastic.
Yeah, it's 2 pieces of plastic that they're not gonna make any, especially on grass, pretty much. So, next up, this one I did not. I don't think I gave to you on your list just yet, so your wheels might have to turn, but your wheels can be turning while I say mine. A job that no longer exists.
Yeah, that was not told to me.
Your wheels can be turning. A job that I'm fascinated by is, I guess they were called telephone operators, but that means such a different thing now but it was a specific type of young woman, and a call would come in. You would make a call, you would talk to her, and she would.
Yeah, that
insane. Just seems, because I miss that even. I'm too young for that too.
Right.
I know that you don't think that, but I miss that wave.
I have no idea.
And it's crazy that genuinely was such a cool profession and such a good and then it was and a necessity, and then it was gone.
It's not the same, but something that's just crazy to me that doesn't happen anymore is printing out your directions.
I'll never.
I simply would be in Antarctica by now,
A core memory for me personally, I'm so glad that we've discovered the phrase core memory and what it is, because it allows you to kind of look at your core memories and discover what they were.
Yep.
A core memory for me was when I was 18 years old. I was just brand new to living in Florence, but I was still in high school, and the guy I was seeing at the time was going on a bunch of different, visits to different colleges. And when you're doing that, they give you money to go on, out to eat. So he gets an invite to some college, and he's like, you need to come for the night. It's going to be so much fun, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, perfect.
It's never been said
This will be so much fun. So He tells me the school is UT Martin. That's all I know. What do I know about UT Martin? Zero.
Nothing.
So I go to Gran, and I'm like, Gran, I need to know how to get to UT Martin. She takes me to the computer. She mapquest the directions from literally where we are to UT Martin. And she's like, listen, I'm just going to put in something recognizable so that once you're in the city, he can come meet you at wherever. So we literally put in the subway at UT Martin, okay?
Oh my God.
And because he didn't know much about the campus, he was like, I don't know where I'm going to be at the time. I'll be able to meet you whenever you get here, but I don't know either. And so I didn't want to just be randomly stuck on campus, So keep in mind, I hadn't even started college at this point, so I didn't know if you needed IDs for places. I was scared. So Grant and I print off these directions. It literally is in 17 miles, turn on this road. And so I'm looking at 17 miles, maybe that's 17 minutes, look for this road. Gran's even going farther and writing down how many streets are in between some of the turns. So she's like, you'll count 4 streets on your right and then you'll turn.
That's
on
insane.
Sheets of paper printed out. Y'all, I'll never forget once I get in the car with him. I'm like, that is crazy. I was like, honestly, I can't believe I'm close to Memphis. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, we're probably 30 minutes outside Memphis. And he's like, we're literally nowhere near Memphis. And I was like, what? We're almost in Kentucky. I had so maps also, I don't need just the directions, turn here, turn. I need to be able to overview see where the heck I'm going, because from then on out, I was like, oh no, I can't ever experience that not knowing where I'm going. And even knowing where I'm going, the fact that I thought I was just in a completely different part of the state.
I could never. If you asked me to get to our house from here without directions, I couldn't do it.
Now, that I do get kind of frustrated. When she started driving, I was like, what road are we on now? And it'd be the Cool Springs Boulevard in Cool Springs. And she'd be like, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you the difference right now between Mallory Lane and Cool Springs Boulevard.
I think it is the same thing, actually.
Perfect. Exactly.
Yeah, it fades into one.
So, that's where I get confused.
Actually, no. Cool Springs Boulevard goes this way, I believe.
Literally,
you know what? Look at me eating my
words. Exactly.
Eating my words. No. Mallory Lane turns into Royal Oaks. So Cool Springs Boulevard is the one that goes in front of Carrabba's. Cool Springs Boulevard is vast as well.
Yes.
It's one of those that goes on forever. Okay, next one. Let's talk about first jobs.
First jobs. Okay.
I loved my first job.
That defined you as a person. You reference that so much.
I love that first job.
And to me, personally, I've had an interesting experience with jobs because technically YouTube was my first job.
Yeah.
But then technically a different place was my first job. But, in so many senses, every job I've had has been my first.
And then you've also, worked for, my friends here and there.
I've had such an interesting relationship with jobs.
If you had to put it down on a resume, it would be interesting. At this point, we'd pretty much hone in on glamour and, what you've done. But it would be an interesting resume.
I would put glamour, basically my only one.
I would think so.
I can't point of reference any other place.
Yeah.
So, obviously, when I was 14, 13, we started YouTube, and that was my first job where I had to get I had stuff I had to get done, and brand deals to be recorded, and I was getting paid, and
but it was always fun. We always took the approach we had the conversation multiple times where when she wanted to start this channel for fun, and we did, and then once this channel kind of switched from we started this for fun to we are making money from this, I always was on days you don't have to film, you don't need to. You don't have to do this. If you ever want to pull out, you can, because I didn't know how it was going to be for school and things like that. So,
yeah. So
it was light, but it was still a job for sure.
It was my first job. And then about 4 years into that?
Yeah.
I was okay, I love doing this.
It was when you were really wanting to be done with school and you knew you wanted to work, but you just didn't know how to start navigating that.
Yeah.
So you were still in school, but wanting to work.
Yes. So I was like, I love, obviously, YouTube, and I love vlogging, and it's going to be something I continue to do. But it doesn't necessarily, like, completely, like, I want to vlog my life and not, like, my life being vlogging, you know? Like, I want it to just be an addition to what I'm doing. So I was like, I need to find a job. So I obviously was good at, like, editing little, like, I'm so good at editing TikToks. I'm not as good at YouTube videos, but, like, TikToks and, like, quick stuff, photos, I'm so good at it. And, like, curating feeds.
Well, you are that kind of, like, young social media gal that a lot of businesses are looking for, and especially a lot of businesses in this area. So you were really open to doing a lot, but wanted to learn, you know,
more
media.
about it. Like, I thought that was just, like, the most seamless transition for me, and, like, what made the most sense to also help me in my personal life and, like, what I knew. And so I started looking for something kind of in that media realm.
Well, I think as your mom, too, I always said, when I moved to Nashville and applied for my job at Warby Parker, it was because I was working for an eye doctor at the time, and I didn't have a college degree, but I did have that eye doctor experience. I was like, okay, with you might not have a degree, you might not be a specific intern, but you have the experience.
Yes. So you were kind of like mutuals and like knew of a place that I could like see if I wanted to work and if it would be a good fit. And so I was interested, and I just wanted to kind of get my first job under my belt. And so I went and I worked there for maybe 4-ish months. And it was supposed to be like a half work, half internship, because I was going to be learning so much. Like I was going to be learning a lot of stuff, editing programs, everything like that. And it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I don't feel like I learned anything.
I feel like, okay, you did learn a lot.
I learned a lot, but like not what I was told I was going to be learning.
You thought that you were going to be more of a podcast training intern, and
and like learning how to like be an employee, and like do all those kind of things, and it just that wasn't the route that they took with me as an employee / intern. And it just turned into something that I did not like. And once I did realize that, I did feel really guilty, because you were kind of like,
I knew her.
You knew the owner, and so like I felt so bad because I didn't want it to create any kind of tension. And
you come first.
And yeah, I do realize that now. And so when I finally was like at my wit's end and was like, I need to find something else.
Well, it was supposed to be a summer internship, and it just kind of kept, so you were wondering when it was going to stop, and you had realized, okay, this has taught me that I do for sure love getting up and coming to something. I love that.
It learned.
And I need that.
And it taught me also that I did not like mixing personal work with work. Like, I realized from that job I did not want to do anything in media. I did not want to do any kind of editing. I did not want to mix my skills with my personal to my skills with my job. So that's what that taught me. And I finally had to sit down with you, and I was crying. I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't want it to be weird between y'all. Like, I just cannot do it anymore. Like, it's not good for me. I don't feel like the environment. Like, I don't think I need to be there anymore. And literally, as we're sitting on the couch, I'm bawling. You're like, well, where's somewhere that you love? Every time you go in, we have a good, like, what's something you love?
Well, I just knew that this is a point where you had been online now, so many of, like, the little high school girl-age jobs in this area, you could do while girls were at school, and then come 3 o'clock when they got up, you could switch. Like, I knew we had a good, like, you could do something to be happy. Yeah.
So she was like, well, why don't you DM Glamour and see if they're hiring? Because I got my prom dress there.
And we had just been shoppers there. Like, we love it.
Literally so many times. And so I was like, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. And one thing that I always, like, kind of get in trouble for is, like, taking immediate action to do something without thinking about it. Like, I need to just sit on things for a second sometimes. So I was silently DMing Glamour at the same time because I wanted to get it done that moment, and I knew she would have told me to wait and think about it a little bit. So I DM'd Glamour, and I was like, hey, I don't know who I should be in contact with, but I was seeing if you're hiring. And literally immediately, they were like, yes, oh my God, here's my number, call me, we'll get an interview set up. And so I was like, still sitting on the couch, I say,
and I'm still yapping, trying to make it better.
I go from frowning to a slight smile, and she's like, what? And I'm like, I have an interview with Glamour next week.
I was like, exactly. See, sometimes all you literally need. How many times in your life has your situation improved from just literally telling your mom?
Good point. Yeah, but sometimes I have to figure things out by myself. So I have an interview with Glamour the following week, and I go in there. I don't have a resume. Now that I'm working there and I'm part of the hiring process, I'm probably the only employee she's ever hired without having a resume.
Well, we just really were in there so much, and I think that she had such a good she worked with you technically with the dress, so like you delivered stuff, you were you know, maybe she saw that you were a good fit then, you know.
And I literally said, I wish I could hand you a resume, but I don't have one. And she hired me on the spot. I started working the next week, and literally best decision of my life.
Yeah, and I feel like you've learned so much within this job that we never even expected. I was like, this is a fun place for you to look at sparkly dresses and sell them and make girls happy all day long. Like, this is what a fun job. Whereas this what a fun job has turned into like, oh my gosh, you learned that. Oh my gosh, you get to go to there. Oh my gosh, you learned that. Like, you're doing what? You're doing this. Like, you're training people now.
Yeah, I trained people yesterday and tomorrow.
See, what do you think out of all of the things that you've done, like store-wise, has been, if you had to pick one and like specialize in it, or if you had to only pick one thing?
I literally can't, like, I do everything.
Yeah. And but you like it?
And also, so when I started working at Glamour, I was very, like, not strict, but, like, I did not express any interest in running the social media.
Yeah.
Because I had learned
you were like,
from my other job that I did not want to do that. And so I did not express any interest in doing our socials, anything. And then with recent events that have happened, I've had to take over the socials, and I've started loving it.
Yeah.
I love posting. I love, like, DMing with people back and forth about dresses and getting appointments set up, and, like, I love it now.
Yeah.
But I think if I would have jumped straight in and been like, oh, I do social media, like, I'll do the socials.
You maybe would have done it. Yeah.
I don't think I could.
And it's kind of nice that they kind of had it set up, and it's just something you didn't have to like build anything from the
So I do now do our socials, but it's in a really, like, light way. Like, I love doing it. And
you feel like you're truly like advertising and marketing.
And like, even with the other socials I did at my old job, I wasn't really doing anything except for like cubicle work. Yeah. Like, that's the only way I know how to describe it. Whereas this one, I get to go to photo shoots, and I get to do behind the scenes, and I get to take dresses out and do, like, edits, and, like, I have creative freedom with this one.
Yeah.
Whereas I think that's what I was missing at my other job. It was so, I wasn't passionate about what I was posting about.
Right.
I was posting on other people's socials.
Right.
And so I wasn't able to really connect with it. Whereas this, I'm literally posting about the most passionate thing in my life. Love it.
Yeah.
And I get to be a part of the building process.
That's good advice if you do, like, find yourself loving this, but you can't figure out why you're not liking to post. Like, maybe look at a job in that intertwines, you know, a little bit better. My first job, you guys, was at a little deli called Big City Deli, and it was truly, truly iconic. That's when I had to, like, apply to get my hardship license. I got my license a year early because I obviously already had a child. And so I was like, I need to be able to prove that I, like, work, and I do need to work. So I found, I coached I helped coach a cheer team with a woman at church, and, like, I was the high school cheerleader that helped out with that. And because I mean, nowhere McDonald's anywhere was hiring, because that was the closest thing. There was, like, a row of fast food that I was like, those I'll be able to drive back and forth to. Yeah. And literally went to every single one, and I had to be 18 for every single one. And I was like, I'm literally not even 16. So I went up to her after church one day, and I was like, look, I will do anything that you want me. I know you own a deli. If you want me to come in after hours and, like, clean the windows and mop, I'll do anything. And she was like, oh yeah, no, we'll hire you. Come on. And I genuinely learned
Same kind of situation where we just, like, they really took a chance on us.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was literally like, I will do anything, and it was immediately like making sandwiches, I learned how to make sweet tea. I learned how to make my gooey bars. I learned so much about, like, sandwiches and wraps and salads, and I like I said, had a child, but was, like, so young that it really was teaching me so much more than I could have learned anywhere else. Like, I loved that job, and I feel like it gave me so much more patience and just kindness. And when you're working with people, like, I just have so much, I'm very understanding, I think that because of that.
Either, like, quick service food or retail is like a really good job.
Absolutely.
Like, first job.
Yes, absolutely, because it just, and you develop relationships with your coworkers, I feel like.
Oh, not even that.
Your coworkers can sometimes be closer than your, like, close friends, because nobody else is experiencing the level of nicheness. Like, sometimes you can't even tell stories to me as much as you can to, like, Leah or somebody.
You literally don't understand how insane this, like, and, like, not even our coworkers anymore. The UPS driver. I have his personal phone number now. And he's like, "Yeah, if you ever need a package before hours, let me know." If he doesn't even drop packages off, he stops in to say hi.
Yeah.
Like, we get him Christmas gifts. And, like, it's just such a good environment.
Yeah.
But if anyone were to ask me what my first job was, I probably would say glamour.
Glamour. Yeah. I mean, it is. I would agree with that.
It's hopefully my last, too. Like, I'm staying here forever. Like,
You
you're
love it.
stuck with me forever.
Okay, let's go straight from first jobs to dream jobs.
I feel like mine's pretty
What is yours?
evident.
Oh, glamour?
Yeah,
You love it?
I would love to open.
Well, what would... Oh, yeah.
I want to open a store. Like, and I don't want to. I would love to just franchise. Like,
Yeah,
this
glamour.
literally is not even a conversation I've ever had with my boss. So, like, if you're listening, eventually, but, like, not right now. I would love to open my own store, and I would love to keep it under Glamour's name and Glamour's franchise and under the same ownership as Glamour, and me be, like, a partial owner, because my boss right now, like, she has taught me so much, and she's so involved, and she's so, like, hands-on and actively teaching every single day and actively looking for opportunities for every single one of her employees. Like, she got me the market experience. Like, she's actively looking for ways for us to grow as people in college, every kind of way. Like, she's such a good mentor. So my, like, dream right now would to be move somewhere and open a new store. Like, can you imagine if I had my own baby Glamour?
But then what if you, like, had another baby Glamour and it thrived, and then you're ready to do another baby Glamour?
No, I'd freak out.
And then all of a sudden you're regional manager of Glamours,
I'd freak
of all
out.
these baby Glamours.
I'd freak out.
That
My
would be
issue would
fun.
be hiring people like me. That's my issue. I can, if...
Well,
I
then
have
you could
this
just hire somebody to do the hiring.
Such a toxic trait of mine. Like,
What?
actually, I have to get a grip on it, is unless I do it, like, it's not done.
Oh, you like to
Like,
be the one that's doing it,
yes.
whatever the
Like,
task may be.
I don't ask
When
anyone
I'm in
to
Glamour,
vacuum.
a lot of the times I do hear you say, "Hey, there's the list of things that needs to be done, like, is around the corner."
But, like, I had this
You just
bad
do
thought
it.
of, like, if I don't vacuum, it's not vacuumed correctly. Like, no one will take out the thing in small vacuum.
Well,
and, like,
can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Now that you do know that this is something that you want to continue with, at least for the next, that sounds like a 5 to 10 year plan for me, then would you be open to, like, specializing in or taking, like, little courses in management and stuff like that? Yeah.
And especially, like, if my boss were to come to me and be like, "Hey, I would like for you to take this class," like, 100%. I would be so... Because I'm 18, what do I know about being a manager?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that some of these girls we just hired, I am their first manager.
Maybe just, like, start on, this is literally not an ad, but I've heard about the platform Skillshare. I'm sure that you could do, like, courses there before you, but also, like, a lot of the little local colleges will have little programs you can do that are just, like, certifications.
I definitely need to look into it.
Yeah,
but, like,
or
I became
certifications.
manager 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Like, I'm learning how to do the socials right now.
Of course. I think that you're taking, I mean, you're...
But summertime for sure, because we're, like, slower during the summertime, so that would be a good time for me to take some
Well,
summer
even now that
classes.
you know you like retail, you could even take some, like, retail, just courses to just see...
Let me tell you something.
Learning things.
There needs to be a Shopify University.
There probably is.
I'm so sick of watching YouTube videos that aren't telling me what to do. I'm sick of it. Like, honestly, I figured out how to do a printer the other day, and you would have thought I sent someone to the space. Like, you would have thought someone landed on the moon by the time that receipt came out of that printer.
I am so glad that we have a printer. It is kind of a subtle flex that we have always had a printer, because, like, my friends would always come over and use it, and I'm like, wait, how do y'all not have one? I immediately had it for college to, like, print out stuff, but then, like, I guess because I was a mom, I was maybe printing off stuff a little bit more than...
I love a printer.
I do love a printer.
I just fixed something in Glamour, by the way, you haven't seen yet, but we now can print these little barcode tags to where we scan it at checkout, and it automatically pops up in the life-saving. Anyway, that's my just little update.
Well, speaking of cool things.
Cool things?
Next is cool jobs.
Okay, I don't know if I had one for this one, if I'm being completely honest.
I have one.
Okay, what's yours?
Mine is a reporter, and any type of reporter, sports reporter, whether, like, news report. I think reporters is such a cool job, especially, like, my friend Sarah. We met at, like, young 20s. She was still in college when we met. I was, like, very freshly. I had dropped out of college, but I was freshly, like, post grad technically, or not technically. Age range.
Over-explaining.
Okay. And genuinely, I think one of our first conversations, she was like, "I'm gonna be a sports reporter," and I was like, "Yes, you are." And she literally is. She's in Miami thriving now. And just, it's so cool. It's so cool. There was a part of my time that when I first moved to Nashville, that I did like some trainings with different media groups because I thought I wanted to do media with the Titans or with the Preds.
Look at
and
us.
I know. And so some of the like conferences and stuff I went to, there would be reporters there too. And in the way that I love being in front of a camera and I love talking with my little microphone, that is a different level of like structure and ability to have composure and like I just think it's so cool. And you just really do get really cool opportunities to have like media passes and be down at like cool places and events and things, and I think reporter is a cool job.
I just thought about mine, but I don't think anyone else is gonna find it cool. But like to me, it actually is amazing and like miracles every time it happens.
What?
Seamstresses.
Oh yeah.
They can
from nothing,
form dresses,
from nothing in their hands
and
to gowns.
Or they take things down 16 sizes and it looks the exact same. Literally how?
Where'd those beads go?
How do you?
And how do you make the same thing twice look exactly the same?
Like seriously, miracle.
No, but the same thing with reporters. Like that, as much as that is like such a cool job and looks so fun. When I was staying with Sarah in Miami, she is on the news for, however many minutes. She's gone from her house because she has to find the story. She writes the thing. She's reporting. She's with her videographer. She's editing the footage. She's turning it into, like, there's so much more that goes in behind the scenes, too. Like, it is wild.
So, yeah, I personally
that is crazy.
think a seamstress is a cool job.
That's a cool job.
Because, like, I also like sewing now. So
imagine just being able to be like, oh, I like that, and then going home and making it, or just finding a pattern. You're like, I like that dress, but I would like it better in like this material, and then just doing it.
Like insane.
Next up, a job you can never do.
There's so many.
For me personally, at the very, 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 very top of the list,
let's say
mine's kind of a description.
Teacher.
Oh, yeah,
I couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either.
Like being responsible for the education of the world, essentially.
Yeah.
Everyone
and then also,
is here
like,
right now because of teachers.
You have to, at 100% of the day, be giving grace and having patience. And those are two of the things that
I lack.
Like I'm very good at, but
I'm not good at, and I lack it.
And mine goes actually very well with that. And it's literally anything at at a hospital, anything at a hospital, any type of, but especially any hospital that would be in a room. I just, there's a tier of heaven, and then there goes right above that is a spot for teachers and nurses and anybody else that works at the hospital, because that's the best tier of people on earth, I think, because I just don't have it in me what they have.
I simply couldn't imagine.
And I think that I like to think that I'm a selfless person, but I'm selfish when it comes to that. Both of those.
And like watching everyone's kids all day long.
And truly like having the responsibility, like and also let's not glaze over the fact in America, like you literally are putting your life on the line as a teacher. I will never forget when one of my best friends in the world was 2 years post-grad in her room of kindergartners, and they had an active shooter drill, and afterwards when we were all kind of like helping her get through it, she was like, I genuinely had a moment in my bathroom with all those little babies thinking, and I decided I would put myself in front of them, and that, I mean, that is just insane. That is crazy. But it's, as the parent that like really like just loved and was so happy when your elementary school teachers were like, you had every teacher you were supposed to have.
Yep, no.
Every year they understood our situation.
It really only went downhill when I got to high school.
Yeah, it really wasn't. But truly those first years, like we had a great. I felt like your teacher every year was another parent for you. Like I depended on them just as much to know that you were going to be safe and secure there and happy, and that if anything was happening, like they had your back, and they always did. They always did. So
no, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I couldn't either. And we say that truly with only the utmost respect for both of those, because whoa. Okay. A job that you just have to be a level of smart we could never comprehend.
NASA.
My brain goes to anything involving numbers, and I feel like the level of numbers involving that is
sending
crazy.
Someone to space.
Building buildings. If you're responsible for building a skyscraper, imagine imagine
sending someone to space in a rocket ship that then has to land back on Earth. Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
that's a level of, and so then, but then you've got all of the different tiers within anything NASA related. You've got the
To
engineers,
have a
the
NASA
astronauts.
badge, you have to.
You're the smartest person on Earth.
On Earth.
You're the smartest person on Earth.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Can I shake your hand,
Like,
actually?
Wow.
Where does it go from here?
Up, apparently.
Good one! Good one. Okay, I think we only have
Wait, what's yours?
maybe one or two.
Oh, you said numbers.
Yeah, anything involved in numbers. Which I mean, if I looked down at a page or if I looked at a computer screen and it was mostly numbers, I would genuinely burst into tears.
I think I'm pretty good with numbers.
Whew.
I mean, I do our inventory.
Words? Give me to me.
See, words, I'm like, no, just give me a line of numbers and let me do the equations and I'll be good.
And I feel like that might be my qualm with numbers. I knew you were gonna love that one. Is that there's no story to, like, I guess there's a story to how you get there.
You just
but
get
like,
done.
no, I need to when I get done with something, I want to look and feel like I've learned something. And numbers, I guess you just look and you feel like you've solved something. And I'm done solving shit. I got enough things to solve on my plate. Do the numbers yourself. There's calculators for a reason.
No, that's fair enough.
Okay. Lastly, a bless you job.
What
A
did I
job
put
that
as
just
this one?
bless you. This is when I put teacher, because
Oh.
bless you.
I did put teachers for this one too.
So let's think of another one then. And this is not in the like Southern bless your heart type of way. This is truly like a
Thank you
for
the
doing
deep in
that
my
and
heart.
that, yeah. I have one.
Vets. Veterinarians. Veterinarians. Like, how are you supposed to... You're not only a doctor, but you're a doctor or something who can't speak and tell you what's wrong.
And somebody's whole family is in your arms right now.
In your arms. And you figure it out. Every time.
That's a good one. What instantly came to my mind, first and foremost, were like Christmas tree farmers and pumpkin farmers. Like,
Oh, you're creating magic.
Thank you.
You're
thank
creating
you
magic.
thank you for choosing to do that, especially the ones that like turn their full thing into like, you know what, we'll sell this half to the grocery stores and this is for the kids. Like,
You're creating
thank
magic
you.
year after year.
Thank you. No, vets is a good one.
Yeah, because I have like been behind the scenes with vets before. In our little small town, I got to go like help volunteer every now and then, and just like clean the kennels and stuff. But like to see what they were doing back there,
and it's in all different kinds of, and it's the fact that like, if you think about it, doctors, they have the one human body and then they specialize into that. Vets, it's animals.
and
Animals.
every single one of them is probably different, and they can't tell you what's wrong. They can't tell you what's wrong.
They can't tell you my shoulder hurts.
No.
That's a good one. Wow. Shout out to vets.
Shout out.
So, hey, compliment a vet today.
Yeah. Call your veterinarian and send them a gift card.
Thank you. Let's send our vet. Honestly, we could send our vet. We're going to take a little Christmas card of the animals. We could send our vet one.
Yep, let's do
I
it.
bet they do get Christmas cards.
Yep.
That's so sweet.
Done.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching another episode. Compliment someone.
And we'll spill more next Thursday. Bye.